for joining us here today on another episode of Client Acquisition Strategies. We have invited back Vincent Driscoll to speak all about using live streaming as part of your overall strategy. So, as a digital marketing strategist, Vinny, can you speak to using lives as part of your overall strategy to connect with new ideal customers and to even drive direct sales?
Sure. I believe that live streaming is underutilized. It's a feature that all social media platforms offer. If they don't, they're all leading into that direction because these platforms know the power of live streaming. So if you jump onto a live streaming event, you're going to get noticed because a lot of the platforms they give preferential treatment to live stream content. It's video, live streaming. It's what social media platforms want you to share. So if you do a live stream, you're going to get pushed up high into feed. So anybody that follows your business or follows you personally will see your live stream, and therefore you're going to get noticed. You're going to appear in people's feeds, and you're going to stay top of mind.
And is there any platforms that you find favored a little more? Like I know Instagram's an obvious one and everybody uses it, but like, would you say it's useful to stream across all the platforms if you can, like using a StreamYard, or should you pick your ones like naturally where your ideal customers are? But like, is it beneficial to do it across platforms, or should you stick to one or two? Like, what are your thoughts on channels?
So in terms of channels, I'm a big fan of Facebook because so many people are on Facebook. Whether you like it or not, the reality is that people are on Facebook, and LinkedIn is very important, I think, in the business stratosphere of social media, because that is the most buttoned up of all the platforms. It's a business platform. It's where people go to, they're looking for jobs, they're looking for connections. So if you can live stream on those two, I would prioritize those two. Instagram is good as well. But to me, I feel like, because Facebook owns Instagram, you can live stream from, if you're doing it on Facebook, you could also live stream on Instagram as well. But those are the platforms that, I would go for. But again, you have to really know who your audience is and where they're at. If your audience is not on Facebook or they're not on LinkedIn, maybe they're on TikTok. Maybe you have a younger demographic that you want to cater to, and they're on TikTok. To me, I feel like you just have to know where your audience is. And again, most platforms offer live streaming, so that is my recommendation. Know where your audience is. If you're not sure, experiment. Try doing live streams on all the channels and see what hits, and then you can kind of find out where your audience is.
Yeah, that's good advice, especially the piece you said about the preferential treatment for the live streaming, because I feel like the old ways of doing social media, like just sitting around and post, it's like the reach is just nowhere near what it used to be. So
No.
you really need to work with the algorithms and not against them. And I know if you put out great content, people will find you, like sorta. I mean, I think you have to kind of play the game a bit these days too to increase your
Yeah.
chances of being found, right? Like you'll notice on Instagram too, everybody's doing reels, even if it's just a post. They're
Right.
like doing a
Right.
little still in the background of it, like just making it a reel with like a caption, just because they want to, increase that chance of being discovered. So if you're going to do a social media strategy, you are hoping to find and connect with new people, which all businesses should be, you need to make sure that you are, doing things that are going to increase your chances of success. So live streaming is that. Is there any businesses that you find would be more beneficial to use them than others, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter if you're B2C, B2B. If you are taking the time to do live streams and trying to do them regularly, consistency matters. If you do one and it doesn't do well, and then you don't do another one just because you think that the first one didn't do well, it's going to work against you. You want to be consistent. You want to kind of build up an audience. Do one once a week, once a month, however you choose to do it. Try to promote it. And you're going to start to see an increase in the interest. And any business can do this. And we were talking offline before we started this recording. It doesn't necessarily have to be work either. Like I always preach, don't sell directly. You're not going on live streams. You should be using social media to sell. Hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. Nobody engages in that. Nobody cares about that. That's noise. That's social media noise. What you want to do is you want to really kind of promote what you do. As a business owner or somebody who works for a business, you know the business the best, and you can kind of talk about what goes on in this business, how things are done, things are made, talk about the people behind the scenes, and you can even have fun. Like, for instance, we were talking about, the eclipse, not long ago. It was, believe it was last Monday. And any company that jumped on the eclipse train and did a live stream and was talking about the eclipse, maybe, had some employees, they were outside, they had their glasses on, they were looking at the eclipse. That has nothing to do with the business itself. It's more about a human element of the business. It's relatable. People are, tapped into trends, popular culture. They know what's going on. That to me is going to create an interest in what you're doing. It's going to stop the scroll in the feed, and people are going to watch. And then, they're going to say, oh, look at this company. They're actually having fun. They're taking some time out of their day, and they're looking at the eclipse. To me, that is going to help your business stand out. And if it's a small business, it's a 1 or 2 person shop, do live streams about yourself, how you got into the business, talk about updates to how your business is doing, just little things like that. Consistency, you're going to stand out. And I can guarantee you, most of your competitors are not using live streaming.
Yeah, and then the other piece of it is after the live stream, it lives on your channel. So it is like a recording that people can come back and watch. And the video, of course, is still super engaging. And I believe you can even download it after as well, right? So,
Yes.
I mean, where appropriate, if you're, say, doing a training or something, that you could download it and perhaps move it to other channels if you want, or upload it to YouTube. So it is still a piece of long form content if you want it to be, that you can use. So even if your attendance sucks, it will live on evergreen on your profile afterwards,
Absolutely.
right?
That's a great point, Susie, because most platforms like Facebook will allow you to download the video afterwards, and then you can put it into YouTube. Like, I'm a big fan of that. I download all of my live streams from Facebook, put them into YouTube. And in YouTube, what I want to do is make sure that I name everything correctly. Keywords are important for YouTube because YouTube is owned by Google, and you want to get that preferential treatment by Google for YouTube content, where if somebody's searching for something in Google, they're going to find your video. So that's a great point. You can also edit your videos. You could take little snippets of whatever happens in that live stream. Say there's a 30-second, a 15-second snippet that you want to pull out. You can do that as well. It takes a little bit more of a tech mind to figure out how to do that, but there are tools and resources available online. A lot of them are free, where you're able to pull those little snippets from long form content and promote in your marketing. You could promote those 15, 30-second clips in your newsletters. You could promote on other social media channels. So there's a lot that you can do with one piece of long form live stream content.
Absolutely. And back to that goldfish brain of everyone, YouTube shorts, like everything, these 30, 60, 90 clips are like all the rage right now. And there's, of course, AI tools and things like that you can use as well, that can do the slicing and dicing for you, for sure. So you don't have to do that manual work. So how would you say, like, how much preparation is required? Like, should people just get on and freestyle? How much should you do scripted? Like, what are some best practices?
I'm a big fan of having just a very small script and then kind of just winging it almost. Don't worry about coming up with something that's perfect, because people aren't going to really embrace perfection. As much as you want to eliminate all the ums and the uhs and the knows, that's just how we talk as human beings. It's normal conversation. If you get on a live stream and you're reading off of a piece of paper, it's not going to look as good as if you're just kind of talking. Have somebody with you if you're doing a live stream for the first time, bounce ideas off each other, just like you and I are talking right now. Have a conversation, and don't worry about things that may not be quote unquote perfect. Maybe you drop something. I dropped a bottle of water on me one time while I was doing a live stream. It went all over my pants. But we kind of just we just kind of went with it. I laughed about it, but I was like, don't worry about it. I'll clean it up afterwards. And it was part of, the human element of doing live streaming, because people who are afraid to do the live streams, when they see a live stream where things go wrong, but still the hosts, they're trying to make the most of it. They're having fun. They're not worried about the things that a lot of people worry about when they go live for the first time. That's going to kind of set them at ease, and they're going to say, hey, they messed up a few times. I can mess up a few times for sure. So they're going to become more comfortable and more interested in doing what other live streamers are doing, as long as they can kind of see the relatableness of doing live streams.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that authenticity. And if you're going to have a brand experience, you don't want everything to be too scripted. I mean, you want to have an underlying message and objective, but you also kind of need to go with the flow a little bit too, right?
Definitely.
Okay. And what platforms can you use to stream across channels? Like I know you can get on natively on each of them and just hit the live button, but like I know there's StreamYard. Is there any others that you know, or what are the pros of using StreamYard versus doing it natively in the platform? Can you speak to the tools to help facilitate?
Sure. Facebook obviously allows you to stream natively on the platform, but if you also stream on Facebook from Facebook, you can also do Instagram. They allow that dual live streaming experience because Facebook owns Instagram. But if you want to go multiple platforms, there, like you mentioned, StreamYard's very good. I've used BeLive. It's BeLive in the past. Very good. You can stream over LinkedIn, Facebook. You can stream on YouTube. There are plugins that you can also add to make the experience stream across other platforms as well. And the beauty of these tools like BeLive is that it's a scalable price point. There's a free version that allows you to have, I believe, up to 2 people, up to a certain amount of time. I don't know if it's 15 or 20 minutes or whatever it is. And then it goes up to, paid versions where you can, pay like maybe, I don't know what it is, $10 a month, something like that, where you can now have 4 people on your live streams. You have unlimited time for your live stream. So it's a scalable, these platforms are scalable, depending on your needs. Maybe you're only planning on having yourself on a live stream for 10 minutes at a time. It's free. You can find the tools out there. You just have to Google and find what you're looking for. If you're looking to get big into the live streaming game and you want to, have up to, 10 people on a live stream, certainly you're going to pay a little bit more. But to me, I feel like if you're investing in social media, if you're investing in live streaming, it's a worthy investment.
For sure. And I know you spoke to promoting, but I mean, I don't want to say to the point of diminishing returns, but like you can't promote a live too much because people aren't going to put it like in their calendar, right? Like I think you're at the point of a live is to also kind of catch people a little bit, you know what I mean? Like when they're already within the app or the platform, like how much promotion should you do? Like I think you should do some, of course, but like
yeah.
What are the chances it's going to help? Sorry.
No, it'll help. Promoting will help. I've always created Facebook events for a live stream, even if it's not on Facebook. You can create an event, and say you're streaming live on LinkedIn, you could still create a Facebook event. But I would also
do a LinkedIn event. Sorry, you can do a LinkedIn event as well.
A LinkedIn event. But if you want to get your message out there that you're doing a live stream, you can promote from all networks. For instance, if you're live streaming on Facebook, create a Facebook event, and you could take that link for the event and push it out in all of your social media, your newsletters, any type of marketing collateral that you have. Promote, say, hey, upcoming Tuesday at noon, we're doing this live stream. You did bring up a good point there, Susie, when you said a lot of people aren't going to add it to their calendars. If you click that you're going to this event on the Facebook event, it will remind you that, hey, you have this coming up at noon on Tuesday. So I would say a lot of people, even if they say they're going, probably won't show up, and that's fine. But you also get a lot of the stumble upon audience where they just happen to be on Facebook. When you go live, they'll get a notification saying so-and-so business is live now. And a lot of people are on Facebook to get away from business. They're, maybe they're having lunch. They're looking at their phone. They're on their desktop, and they see the little red, number up in the corner. It says, "Hey, you click on that. So and so is live. You go. You watch the live." So there's a lot of stumble upon interest in live streams. Whenever I see, somebody I'm connected to doing a live stream, my first instinct, if I'm not doing anything that is business related, I'm going to go in there and check it out, because to me, so few people do it. When you do it, there's a curiosity there. So to me, I feel like that's important. And if you're trying different times, experiment. Like, you don't know when your audiences might be on. A lot of people say most people are on at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. But they're probably not looking for live streams at that time. You never know, though. They may be just watching TV and looking at their phone at the same time. Again, it's really kind of up to you to kind of figure out when your audience is on, when they're
Yeah.
interested in those live streams. So
And I
a
do
lot
think
of
that would,
experience.
yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that would probably be like depending if you're B2B or B2C, etc. Like if you're
Sure.
B2B, you shouldn't expect somebody to come to your training like in the evening, but it can be a great opportunity for B2C. And I think it's less saturated during that time too, because everyone's trying to pound things out in the daytime. But people are
Yeah.
definitely on their phones at night for sure, no question. And I go into Instagram, but I always get the notifications about certain people going live. So
Mhm.
you definitely get the eyeballs of your audience. And I'm not sure how much it impacts the discovery feed of new people to find you, but yeah, so as part of the overall social media strategy, like how much focus should people give on live streams?
Well, you really have to kind of figure out if this is something that you can add to your arsenal of marketing. Do you have the
Hmm.
time, the resources? Do you have the content? Is this something that you feel that you can endeavor to do and do consistently? And I think the problem with some of these businesses, they go in without a plan and they say, "Oh, I'm going to just try it out." It doesn't work out the way that they had hoped the first time they do it, maybe the first 2 times they do it, and they abandon it. I really think that you should probably kind of look at what your resources are, your time investments, what you're looking to do with your live streams. Give it a good 5 to 10 live streams before you kind of determine whether or not this is something that you want to continue to do. But make sure that when you strategize this, you have enough content, you have enough vision that you're putting into your live streams, so that you can give it a legitimate chance to succeed.
Okay, that makes sense. Really good. And any other thoughts or recommendations you would give to a small business considering, oh, like how would you say, because originally we were talking offline about this, about like how it can trigger a direct sale opportunity. But if you say people shouldn't be selling on social media, how do you kind of like, how do you, put those two concepts together?
Well, I wouldn't expect direct sales to come through live streaming, but I
Mhm.
do have some case studies where it actually led to direct sales. Before the pandemic, this was probably 2018, 2019. And there was a screen printer up in Washington State who she just decided she was going to go start doing a live. She great personality. She's very, very she's very open. She could talk about anything. She was just talking about her screen printing processes, and she was showing her shop, her live shop, and she was just talking about this is me screen printing t-shirts.
Mhm.
And then later that week, somebody who had watched her live stream, she
Yeah.
had she didn't know, she ended up getting this client, and it turned out to be her biggest client to date. So just being top of mind, just being somebody who anyone can stumble upon in terms of a feed, and showing off what you do, showing off your business, showing that you care,
Yeah.
that this is something that you're passionate about. You've been doing a long time. You are the expert. People are going to see that, and they're going to embrace that type of marketing more than they're ever going to embrace any type of marketing that is direct sales, buy
Yeah.
this, but nobody engages in that. But when they see
And
stuff like
mhm.
that, they're going to engage with that.
It's like a get to know you brand experience.
Sure.
And I say that about executive branding too, and how important it is. Like there's so many CEOs and executives. I mean, just to change gears a little bit, but the same point I'm making is if a prospect is researching vendors and they're looking at your social media channels, which I do, I always check out social media channels to see if they're active, what they're sharing, because it's sort of like that next tier of a brand experience. So
Yep.
there's your website, but then what's going on your social media channels? Are they active, not active? And then you consume a little bit of their content. So if you're, say, sizing somebody up, you see this live stream about the process and you think, and you catch that, entrepreneur saying
Hmm.
something silly and funny and engaging, and the other people aren't even activating or like updating their social medias at all. You'd think that these people have a different level of intention and care to their business than the people not even dealing with it at all, right? And same with the executives that are not updating their LinkedIn's or having any digital
Hmm.
footprint. People are going to be looking at you versus the competitor, and if they are creating a similar experience for their sort of
Right.
value add content to get to know us, like you are at a core disadvantage now.
Yeah, it sounds like we could do a whole episode on this one, Susie. But yes, if a business does not update their social media, it is it is worse to have a dormant social media um, than to not have one at all. If you don't have a social media, say you don't have Facebook, you don't have X or Twitter, or you don't have LinkedIn, that's not good. But if you have a social media presence that hasn't been updated since 2018, that's worse. So to me, I feel like social media is certainly very important to a business today. But also, you mentioned CEOs. If you can get the CEOs, the people who are running these businesses, engaged at least a little bit in the social media, have them, do maybe a quarterly roundtable discussion about whatever it is
Mm.
that you do for a business. Like, you're going to see the CEO embracing social media, and that's going to help that business stand out. They're going to say, okay, this business gets it. Their CEO is also, a big part of their social media strategy, and that's going to help that brand really stand out. It doesn't necessarily have to be a CEO, somebody, in the executive suite, somebody who is higher up. If they have some time and they can spend it on social media, I think that's going to help the business stand out.
And that's an episode in itself too, is the executive
Yeah,
branding. And I'm going to be doing a
totally.
training on that soon and how important it is. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Sure.
As always, nuggets of wisdom and lots of great advice for small businesses looking to grow their brands online. So thank you so much for joining us here today. If you like what you see, subscribe, like, follow the channel, and I look forward to catching you next time.